go. See,
I was the only one that showed up last week.
Huh? Yeah. And I forgot, and I totally forgot to send out messages to remind everybody that we weren't meeting last week. Even some of the other instructors was like, "Oh man, I forgot," and I could have swore I put an announcement on my board letting people know. I put it somewhere, and it wasn't on my board. So either one of my students has an anonymous message saying that there's not going to be a class last week, or one of the instructors that I was helping on their board has that message. So I don't know whose board I posted it to, but apparently it wasn't mine. But Miss Estelle got in there for me and put one that hopefully got everybody pretty much in time. I don't not teach very often. So those are going to be rare occasions when we won't have a class. But there are going to be times when I won't be able to have a class, either family reasons or just holidays, or if Rory jumps on like he did today, wanting to do something at the last minute that we have to, rearrange things. It does happen. So. All righty, so what we're going to do is I'm opening the floor for questions. So if you have anything you want to go over, go ahead and get started with it now and let me know.
Okay, Sheila, on the class that was 4/13, the date, and approximately 2 hours into the class, you go into your templates and took a screen picture, and I see, I'm a little not confused. I haven't started doing quote templates, but you have them organized, like add copy various, and then Christmas. I just was very quickly, not in, but the way you organize them, and the answers that you sort of put, like I said, doesn't have to go into great detail, but I just thought that was really good.
Okay.
When I get to the template stage.
I got you. So we'll work on templates, because that is one of the things I wanted to go over today was templates, because we need to get your advertising started with the pages that you have finished.
Okay, but the way you did it is good.
Yep. I'm all about organizing paperwork, have A, B, C, D, so they're easy to follow. So we can go over that. All right. What's next?
Sheila?
Uh-huh.
Well, speaking, I will kind of couple with that question, because when talking to advertising using the templates, do you have kind of a thought process, or because we can advertise certain products like Valentis and so forth globally. So, maybe which locations do you tap into first, and kind of, is there kind of a routine, and then you keep organized with that?
Okay. Gotcha.
That would be great.
All right, will do. All right.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Any other things out there we want to go over?
Yes.
Okay.
Like for instance, the coffee and wine page that you have up, over to the right where it says document and then block.
Uh-huh.
When do you have to make sure you're on document, and when do you have to make sure you're on block, and why?
Okay, I'll go over that, block and document.
And then I attended Paul Rankin's webinar this morning, and unless I was, still sleeping, he did a bunch of things in Classic, on the particular page that he was working on. But it looked like he was doing a lot of stuff that we used to be able to do in Classic, which surprised me, because I thought we were very limited as far as that concerned. But then after he finished showing us what he did in Classic, I don't remember seeing him converting back to block. He might have, and I just missed it. But
I'm gonna answer that one first.
Okay.
With the new update that they've done on the web system, we don't have to convert it back to block now, because Classic is a block, so we don't have to convert it to a block anymore.
Awesome.
The only thing that we have to convert is if you come to a page and the whole page is in Classic, that means it's in the old Classic form. So you have to convert that page. But I will tell you now, don't convert it until after you do your modifications with your placement. That is the one classic version that you cannot put a link in.
With the old one,
Yeah.
you mean?
Yeah. Yeah, if you use a classic block, then you can link it. But if you pull up a page, like this is one of my students' page, he gave me permission to use it for training. And he has some pages in here that are originally in classic. And so he would have to convert that to a block format after he gets finished with it. But it's like I said, if you come across the page that needs editing, let's see if he's got one in here. Let's see. No, we just did all of his wine pages.
Remember when you did classic, and remember how it stayed in color, and
Yes.
you were like, "Whoa!"
You can do that in the classic block now,
Oh,
And not have to convert it back to
and not have to convert it. Yeah. So yeah, he's already converted. He's actually going really fast on his web system. I'm very proud of him. So he's converted, looks like most of his already. Let's see if this one. But you know, when you pull up a page, if it is not being converted to block, it will actually have that blue line going across it that says classic. Right here, see where this actually pulls up in a block. If it was still in classic, that block would actually have the word classic in it. Okay. The other thing I want to go ahead and while this is on my mind, Miss Constance, you remember you were asking me about your word count?
yeah. What?
Yes. If you go to the bottom of your page, and if you don't see it, then we need to make sure that you actually have that function, because I don't see where this student has it either.
You know, isn't it up at the left-hand corner in that circle?
It should be down here at the bottom. Yeah, you can
Right
probably
there.
see it up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's your word count here. If you are in classic,
Oh, you said the bottom.
well, this is in classic. It is. I'm trying to get this to go down.
Oh, that's right. When we used to have the old classic, it
Yeah,
used to
right
be
here
on the
where
bottom.
you have Yoast.
Wait. Where'd your arrow go? Oh, there it is. Oh, right. Okay. See, that's what I thought.
Yeah, right here where Yoast is. Oh, come on, move. There should be a word counter right here where this is. And for some reason, it's not there now. So it could be that he doesn't have that option checked for it to show up. But it will be up here if you hit your indicator.
Okay, wait. Okay.
Yeah, you see up here where it's got the circle with the I in it? That's for your information. If you click on that, it will tell you how many words you have in the page, how many headings you have, how many paragraphs, how many blocks you used.
And it doesn't matter if it's in draft, right?
No, if it's in draft, you still should have this option to see it. You just can't, if it's not published, then you won't be able to see anything. This actually gives you some good information.
There it is. I see it. Oh,
Yep,
that's
you got it? Okay, so I wanted to go ahead, since I was on here, I was like, let me go ahead and take care of that. All right.
Hey, Sheila,
Yes.
let me go ahead and take care of this before I forget again. With 4th of July coming up, will there be a Wednesday night? I assume no Thursday night webinar, but Wednesday night, and what about Saturday?
Usually, Roy, I'm going to tell you what's happened in the past. We have had meeting on those days. Unless Rory comes up and says we're not going to have them, just count on them being there.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Any more questions? What else? I know we got to have some more.
Just one question, again, regarding going from the classic to the block format, Sheila. Well, I have noticed, I think I have been making a mistake based on what you just taught us. I go click in and I change the block before I start, modifying my page.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that on occasion, the images done there, maybe one image will kind of go so you really can't see it. And now I'm thinking that might be my error. Does that sound maybe?
Yeah, and what it is because of the way Classic was written, it doesn't have a structure. It's just like you wrote on a blank piece of paper. And then when you convert it to blocks, it has a format that it uses. So it might go every 100 words, and then it'll create a block. And what happens is if there's a picture that goes between those two blocks, depending on how many pictures it has, you could have two pictures that are between two blocks. It will only get one picture. The other picture kind of disappears, but it's still there. So I've actually had students that when we would do stuff for Google, they would come up and have a broken link. And they was like, where's this link? I can't find it. And I would actually have to go into the screen and pull up the HTML code for the whole page to find that one picture. And it's because it's hidden in coding. Code's always going to be there. Blocks you may not see. They might overlap each other and cancel each other out, but the code's still there. So that's why if you ever run a broken link checker and you see that and it says you have a missing link or your broken link and you go to that page and you can't find it, it's like, I've looked through it all, I can't see it, then it's in your coding. That just means you have a picture or a link in there that is overlapping because you converted it to blocks. You won't find that out until after you convert it. But like I said, if you come across the page that is in Classic already, it came over in Classic, then you have to convert it. You cannot get away without converting it. But once you convert it from Classic to block, you can't go back. So if there's anything you want to do besides linking, you can do your colorization of your links. You can actually, not your link, you can't do links in the original Classic, but you can position pictures, you can colorize phrases. You just got to make sure that if you're colorizing a phrase or a word, that it is not one that you're going to link later after you convert it, because it will automatically turn it to the Classic blue.
Okay.
To the default. Now, once you convert it, and this is, I know it sounds like a lot of work, but once you convert it, if there's one particular paragraph or section that you want to put in Classic, then what you can do is open up a Classic block above the paragraph or phrase that you want to use, or section, and copy the old into the new Classic block, and then you can modify it, add pictures, link it like you would in original Classic. But because it's in a block format, you don't have to convert it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Hey, Sheila?
Yes.
If you don't have to convert it and you can do everything in Classic, then why should we even bother with block?
Because you have to use a Classic block. The format itself, our system, is in block format. When they converted it, we did not have a Classic block. And we got on them, Rory got in it because we like Classic. We like the be able to make our systems unique. The colorization helps to do that. Colorizing your links help to do that. So they went back in and created a block. I'm not going to say just for Rory's group, but because we all, in mass went to WordPress, with emails, text, or whatever, and said, we need that Classic, some kind of way to get to that Classic function. So when they updated the second time, they had that Classic block in there, so we could go in there and use it. Now you can create a whole page in Classic block, but we can, and be done with it. You don't have to convert it to anything because it's already in block format. But if you have a page that's in Classic and you want to link it, if it's just in Classic and it's done, it's the way you want it, then that's fine. But if the links are Rory's, you cannot take a link out and put your link in it if it's in original Classic. You have to convert it.
I'm sorry.
So does that mean they won't get rid of Classic eventually?
Not the block.
Not the Classic block.
Yeah, not the block. I have some students that their whole system is still in Classic. They have not done an update because they are afraid of change. But what's going to happen is I think they said by the end of the year, they're going to let it go through 2019, but starting in 2020, they're going to automatically revert every website that is not updated. They're going to update it. That's going to be part of the system change. So if you haven't updated, they will update it. So they're
Okay.
just giving you the option to do it on your own. But once they get all the kinks out of it and get everything functioning, they will go in and update manually those sites that did not get updated. So
Now,
but-
would you be able to show us what you were talking about earlier about the broken link that's hidden in the HTML code? Would you?
No, because Roy doesn't want me to talk about coding. So usually what happens is when that happens, it usually gets sent to me or gets sent to Miss Kathleen Metzler, because we deal with coding, computer coding, and we go in and find it if they can't find it or figure it out. Most of the time what happens, and I tell them this is an easy fix if they have that to happen, and you know that it shows, that it's between here, and you basically know the location and there's nothing there, then I always tell them copy the 3 blocks or 2 blocks above where it's at and below it, copy it, put it in a new block and delete that. Usually it gets rid of everything. And then when you repaste it, then voila, the broken link shows up. So, and then you can fix it. But if a lot of people, they don't want to go through that, there's just like find it, and then I can go in, put the whole page in coding and look for the code that it's telling me where it's at, and I just go in and take it out. And usually when you take that out, then you end up seeing what was not there. It shows up. But most of the time when you run through that, I just let your instructor know. Most people don't know what that means, because I do when I deal with code. Usually when I run into that, I go ahead and put my whole page into code and find it. A lot of people don't know to do that. So,
Okay, thank you.
So, but if you run across that and you're one of my students or in my downline, just give me a holler and say, hey, here it is, when you do that broken link checker, and just send me the code, the whole thing, and then I'll go into your website and fix it. It's usually a quick fix once you know where you're looking. But yeah, that's just a kink in the system when you convert it to blocks. Now, what else questions do we have?
Now, I'm just starting, and I've been just given a bunch of videos to watch, so I don't know where to actually start at. She gave me affiliate links and said you just use that to find out how to link certain pages with the affiliates. Okay. But I'm really not sure where I should start.
Okay, we can go over that. So you need a starting point.
Yes.
All right. Gotcha. All right. So what we're going to do, I think that would probably be our first start, because if we start in some of these other things, it's going to really confuse you. Is this Angelica?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll start there. So what else, other questions do we have? Everybody good? No more questions?
Maybe down the road.
Down the road. Okay. Well, you can always chime in if we go into something that you're not quite or that needs to be repeated. Just let me know.
Sheila?
Yes.
I just have a comment to make. This morning when I was in Paul Rankin's session, I discussed with him about my 2 problems concerning Valentis. Yeah. And he is going to write me an answer. He says he knows what I'm talking about, and he can help me out.
Good, because that's what I was telling you. I'm not a coffee drinker. I know basically what you're getting at, but I couldn't give you an answer. So
well, that was just part 1. Part 2 went way beyond that. But he's going to help me. I just wanted to let you know that I'm getting it handled.
Good. And then what you can do is write us a page on it.
Okay.
That'll be great. All right. So what we're going to do, and I'm going to pull up my list. I have a list that I give to my students. I have templates for everything. When I get a new student during my training, I always send them a student information sheet. And I called it the flow before Rory started the flow. And I don't know where it came from, but it's I always called it the flow, but now I call it the new student information sheet. And this is to help my students get their directions. We've already gone through everything that is there. So it's just a matter of them following the instructions that's there. So this is, actually, this is the referral link. I guess my other one's trying to pull up. Let's go here. But this is probably what she's talking about. Angelica, was the different links, the referral links that you have for pages in your system. Now your computer link, then all you have to do is click on the link that she provided to you. And there's an actual page that goes along with the computer page. It's your Smart Miner.
Now, some of these links that you have on here, she had given to me and I signed up for.
Okay.
But she has one that's called Offer and where to find your affiliates. And then it says like offer page and it says affiliate links and then categories.
Gotcha. Okay. So she gave you the offer page, the site map. All right. So what she's done is, let's get back to there. Let me pull up the site map.
Is she talking about the offer and where to find your affiliate pages?
Mm-hmm. So
Can I give her a tip while you're doing that?
Yep.
I copied all those pages. There's 4 pages, and then I got a highlight, and I highlighted all the ones that were on my pages, which could be different than other people's. I'm not sure, because they change. I highlighted them. Then I put 3 blocks on each highlight. Each one I had put a block, like fix the words, fix the links, fix the writing, and then I checked them off as I was doing them. I don't know if that helps.
Okay, so here's what, and and everybody has their own little way that they do it. I tried, when I try to send it to and I tell my students when they do this, to make sure that this is theirs. They can manipulate it however they want to. But I go in and I've got mine colorized. So it tells them that for brunette marketing, then it's in yellow. If it's in a ClickBank affiliate, it's in orange. CJ is in blue. And then if it's an instructor's link, which is usually our paid marketing, then it's in red. So they know these have changed significantly. So I just have mine for my students, okay? Once they come to their page, and I don't know if this is still there or not, but say like ACTV. So you will go to your website, and we're going to use my students' website. And I always instruct from all pages because that's where everything is. It's in alphabetical order. It's easy to find. So they will go to ACTV, and they will click on that. And I'm going to be in my students' page. He's already got those modified. And it's once it pulls up, it's going to tell me, okay, here's my ACTV. So I know from my spreadsheet that I have over here that my ACTV right here, because of it's highlighted in yellow, is in brunette marketing. So then what I would do is I would open up a tab, and I have all my marketing sites right here. I would find my brunette marketing somewhere in here. Where is my brunette marketing? Did I lose it? There it is. So I'd pull up my brunette marketing. And once it pulls up, I'll go to the dashboard and make sure that you've logged in. I always tell everybody, once you get your email and your password in, that's where you want to save it. That way everything is in there and you don't have to go back and keep looking for passwords and emails and all that. It's saved where you've put all of it in. So then you can come here and you pull it up And since Brunette Marketing is our smallest marketing house, you're going to go to your offers. You're going to go to browse and search. And you're going to find ACTV, which is right here. And you're going to click on the actual name. If you want to see what it's about, you will click on your landing page. That will take you to another page that will explain to you exactly what ACTV is, how it works. Okay, oh, that's right, Brunette Marketing's down. Forgot that. They're updating their server. But anyway, you would come here and you would do the same thing. It's probably going to give me the same message. You would click on this, and once it loads up, it's going to come up here, and here's your tracking link. Now, this is the link that you're going to highlight, and you're going to copy, and you're going to go back to your page. Actually, let's go to my page because I don't want to do my students' page. All right, we're going to go back to our page. Oh, I finished my page. Did y'all see that? Yeah, I finished my relationships and sex page. It's getting some good reviews.
I bet.
So Miss Constance gave me the idea.
Oh my.
You did. See, girl? So we're going to come here and we're going to go to edit. Why isn't my edit showing up? I want to edit you. Is it not going to let me edit?
Are you in WP admin mode?
Yeah. But it's not letting me do anything, is it? We can fix that. Yeah, whenever you are in your site and it's on the computer you opened it in, no matter where you go in your page, it should automatically put you as admin, even if you're just looking at your system. So I don't know why mine's not doing that, but we'll get there. So once you copy your link from your admin, your Brunette Marketing site, you're going to come to the actual page. And like I said, I always work from all pages. Rory teaches to go through your menu structure, whichever is easiest for you. I just go through all pages. That way I know I don't miss anything. Everything is right there for me to see. So then what you're going to do is you're going to come in here and anything that's highlighted, and I don't want to change mine because I actually did mine before we changed it. So if I go in and change it now, it's going to change it to blue. I can actually do this. We can come here, do the picture. You click on your picture, and as you can see, your things for your picture, you always want to make sure you have an alternative text in your image settings that's related to what you're typing about. And then your custom link, you're going to always do a custom URL. And then your link to offer, you just take out whatever's in there, which is going to be Rory's. And then you're going to paste yours in there. Always make sure it's opened in a new tab. And you are set for your picture. Same thing for your wording. Say if you want to, like this one right here, this is one app that you seriously need. So I want to highlight that. And we're going to link that. So I'm going to copy, get this link out here. I call this the paperclip. It's actually your link icon. And then you're just going to paste your information in there. You're going to click on your three dots. Always open new links in a tab unless it's an internal link. And then you're going to click apply. And as you can see, there's my link, and it's going to turn that link blue. So that lets anybody that comes to my page, once they see this colorization, they're going to know something's different. It's going to be colorized and underlined. So once they click that, it takes them straight to that offer. They can read about ACTV, and if anybody clicks on it or whatever, you get a commission, plus you get the traffic that's coming to your site.
Okay.
So that site map is what you would need. Just go through, and you can, like I tell my students, whatever's best for you. Mine's colorized. I've color coordinated it. If you want to go in and restructure it and resort it and have all of the brunette links. If they don't have this there, put it in there. Have your categories. And this is sort of on your menu. When you see your categories, this shows you where it is, what your menu item is. So you know your 9 reasons for using coconut oil is in your cooking, food, and wine menu. So if you click on that tab, that's where you're going to find this particular page. ACTV, the category is going to be your arts and entertainment. So that's going to be under your arts and entertainment menu icon button in your web page. So when they're talking about that, so when you look at your actual website and you're working through your menu structure to modify your pages or edit your pages, then this is what it's talking about. When you see, when it says your category is arts and entertainment, then you're going to click arts and entertainment. And like ACTV is actually in a breakout, but if not, you just click on your actual arts and entertainments tab and it brings up your arts and entertainments. And then you can come here and you can click on any of the, this one relates. So if I click on this one, then it will take me to that page and then I will modify that page. So that's what they are talking about when they tell you, you know, that you need to do that. Your categories is actually your page. And then once you do that, you have your functions at the top and you just click on edit page and it takes you back to your edit mode where you can go in and start getting your links from your affiliate sites, which is your marketing houses. And then you're just going to coordinate them with what the offer is.
Sheila?
Yes.
You mentioned something earlier about the alternative, excuse me, alternative text for a photo.
Yes.
And you said you have to put something in there that it relates to your what you're saying or something like that.
Right.
Are you talking about so that it relates to what you're talking about in the whole article or what it relates to in that paragraph where you put the picture?
The whole article. And you want, and the reason you need something there is if you don't, your picture will not get indexed on Google. And you want your pictures indexed on Google Images for the simple fact that once they are indexed, people can double click your actual image and it brings them to your page for them to read about what that picture represents.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I was putting in what I was talking about in that paragraph and I keep getting things saying, you know,
yeah.
I don't have any pictures relating to the subject or something like that.
And that's why when you create a page and you're putting pictures in it, you want to make sure that you're using your key phrase for your pictures because you want all your pictures to relate to your article that you're writing. Now, if you have an internal image or an internal page that you're going to, like with mine with, let me pull up one, the one I just did. Let's see.
ACTV?
No. I'm going to pull up the one I just did because I have pages in there. Where'd it go? So I'm going to pull this one up. And what I'm going to show you what I was talking about with your images. Like all of my images, you see I use this in Classic. Now, if my whole page was in Classic, then this whole thing would be in Classic, which I think I did do this whole page in Classic for the simple fact the way I wanted it to look. So all of these are relating to when you click on my images, because I have it in Classic, it doesn't give me that option, which is terrible. Because I did do it. This isn't going to be a good example. All right, but look at here's one. Half of it's in Classic. So here's one. Even though this is a different picture, I want it's relating back to my key phrase, relationships and sex. Okay. But then if I go down here, this picture here, which is in Classic, I have it related to my wine. So my key phrase for this one is wine. Actually, I got it relationships and sex. So I could still actually go back in there and change that to wine if I want to, which I need to, because that's what I want to do. Where do I have it?
Can you label for the alternative text every photo in that article the same?
Yes. Yes. And you want to. And you want to make sure, that when you do your images, that it is relating to your topic or your key phrase. Like, this is my key phrase. So that if anybody types that in and they go to images, then my images will show up. When I did I have one that I did for wine, all of my images relate to the page that I'm talking about, except when I did my internal link, and my internal link went to wine, wine and romance. I thought I had did that one, but I didn't, which is fine. But as you can see, I've done this in both classic block and regular block. So like this is one when I converted it from classic to regular. You see how the image converts, double spacing. There was actually a hidden image in here. I just left it. It'll be fine. I've already got my Google AdSense. If they get, picky about it, I'll go in and take it out. But as you can see, this is block. So you can mix and match block formats in here. It doesn't all have to be one thing. And as you can see, because I did do it in classic, I got to post my pictures where I wanted them. You can't do that with regular block formatting with images. It will only post it in the center to the side. As you do your classic, you can move your images wherever you want to the side of the page. This is a media text block right here. And it just happened to be that my picture was the same size as my wording. So you can do a lot of different things with classic. Same thing, like I said, you can colorize your links. If you have background noise, please mute yourself because we are recording, and it's a little distracting. So thank you very much. So there's different things you can do with classic. It helps you to make your page and your site a little bit more unique, a little bit more personable. And because we do have it as a block image or as a block feature, we do not have to convert it to block. But if you do come up where you have classic at the very beginning and it's a page you have not written, it came with your system as a classic, then you will definitely have to convert it before you can do any, after you do all your information in there. If you want to go in and change it, or if you want to put a link and change your links, it won't allow you to change yours in original classic. So that's how, I hope that helped. Did I lose you?
Hello?
I lost them.
Yeah.
You there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's that time of the day. I don't know what happens here in the South, but we get these pop-up storms all week. We've had them, and it's been happening between 2 and 6. And we lose internet. We lose lighting, flickers, and I don't know if it's the heat because it's not rain. We get thunderstorms, dry thunderstorms. So I think it's the heat. So
And the keyword about the keywords, the only way to tell if they're right is if the smiley faces change.
If what the Yoast down here at the bottom, once you get your images and everything set, you want this overall to be green and green.
But the keywords, that's how you tell if you have enough keywords, is the faces change?
Yes. If you have the keyword right, and like, see, this one's telling me I don't have it. I got to find this one here. It's telling me I'm linking it to another page. So that means somebody out there on the web is using the same key phrase that I'm using. And I don't want to go in and change my key phrase because I like it. So I'm just hoping that my page's index is better than theirs.
Sheila?
Yes.
I have to correct you on that based upon what Paul said this morning.
Uh-huh.
He said that I'm linking to a page that also has that keyword. And if it's an outgoing link, let's say I my keyword is shoes, and I link to a shoe store, and they use shoes as their keyword.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that phrase means.
Yep.
So I got to get a keyword that the store doesn't use.
Yeah.
And
see,
Paul says, good luck on that.
yeah. And that's the thing, is because my stores that I'm using, that's what they market. So it's going to be very difficult for me to find another keyword, and I probably will have to. But right now, I'm going to leave it because I'm just marketing mostly on social media and free ad sites. I'm not looking for indexing with Google as of now. I'm going to wait till the end of the month and see what my numbers come back on my free ad sites. And then if it indexed well there, then I might go in and change it. And so that I can put it out there and make sure I get better traffic on Google. But right now I'm just using my image, my free marketing. But as far as your list, when you get this from you and you've gotten it from your instructor, go in and sort it if you want to sort it, and have it to where all of ClickBank shows up. And then that way, to go to from ClickBank. If you want to sort it for all brunette, so you can do all your brunette pages. This is basically your pages that are in your system. This is your marketing house, which is your ClickBank, your brunette, your CJ.com, or your affiliate links that they gave you, which is your Sephora, your Ominex, your RoboForm, Computer, Excel Trip. Those are the individual links that you will have to go and pick up. And they should have given you that from the spreadsheet, or, where your instructors link. I give my students an actual form that has all those in there, for they can go and get their referral links. And then that way you get your own link, and then you put those in your pages that correspond with that particular link that you need. Okay. I just found out last night.
So then I guess I should ask her about some of those affiliates, because some of them that you stated I've never heard of. Like, okay. I have the Coinbase, I have the State Bank, I have the Excel Trip, and the Computer.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
but that's it.
Okay, so she doesn't give you Response Magic, Coinbase, Sephora. Yeah, you need to check and make sure. RoboForm, those are pages you have in your system. A lot of people will just use Rory's and not sign up for their own. You can actually get your own link for those. I had to update my Dropbox last night because I have the business professional Dropbox, so that I make sure I don't run out of space. And they actually have a new affiliate program for Dropbox.
Oh, really?
Yes. So I'm going to start referring my students when they say they want to get a Dropbox or don't have a Dropbox. I'm going to send them my link. Hey, here, sign up with Dropbox here. It's still free. Just like you have when you get your computer, a new computer, and they say sign up for Dropbox. I'm going to give them my Dropbox. Here, sign up for Dropbox through me. Still gets free Dropbox. Everything's the same. It's just an affiliate link. So if they ever decide to upgrade, then I get a commission. So,
and that it has nothing to do with getting Rory's Dropbox.
No,
okay.
No. No, okay. It's just Dropbox in general. Where everybody just goes to Google, look up Dropbox, and download free Dropbox. From now on, you don't have Dropbox, here's my link. Go use this link, get Dropbox.
And how do you get an affiliate link from Dropbox?
If you have Dropbox, log into your Dropbox account, and it's down at the bottom. It says affiliate. Actually, this says referral.
Okay,
yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, look at the bottom when you log into your Dropbox. Go to your account information, and they have a sitemap down at the bottom, and on the right-hand corner, I think it says referral. And if you click on that, then it will give you your own link based on your Dropbox account that you can market. It's a new program they started. So, of course, I'm putting it in there. And I'm probably going to write a page for it, too. Same thing with like here's your direct sellers. I'm sure you're in your Valentis. And then I also make sure that all of my students have access to the training for that Paul has. Here's his recordings for the Wine Wednesdays. Here's the recording for the Tuesday calls. And then the information, if they want to call in for the Tuesday night, here's the call in. If they want to do Zoom, here's the Zoom. And you just use that conference ID number if you've not signed into Zoom before. Same thing for Wednesday nights. Here's the call number if they want to use their phone and the caller ID. Same thing with Zoom. If you want to log into Zoom and it asks you for an ID number, you use the same ID. No, it's not the same ID. Or is it? No, it's not the same ID. Where is that where I put the ID number? It might be somewhere else. There's an ID number that goes with it. I think I might have put it on the other page. And then, here's my webinar on Saturday that they can come to. If they want to look at the Keystone video, I always have that available to them. And then if they need to go and actually get a website, I send that. This is a letter that I sent to someone that wants to do link posting only. They don't want to do anything else. So, of course, I'm going to send them all the stuff. And then what happens is they'll listen to these calls. And the next thing you know, they're calling me, say, hey, how do I get started with what they're talking about? Well, first of all, you got to get into PBS. And there we go. So it's a win-win situation. So you want to, but the first thing you need to do is go back and get your list that you have from your instructor and organize it the way you want to. You can actually go in here and modify these. You got your extra Excel trip. If you're comfortable using Excel trip, just expand these right here and make your own little notes in here and say, like the one gentleman was saying, Mr. Lewis was saying, put in here, hey, this is my brunette marketing. I did this page is completed on this date so that you know which one you did or where you found it at. Or you just go ahead and reorganize it if you need to copy and paste it however you want to. If you got the link from your instructor, then that's your page to do what you want to with it. If you need to copy it into a new spreadsheet or even a Word document, and then you go in and fix it the way you want to, then by all means you do that. You do whatever is necessary to make it easier for you to follow. Okay. And then, like I said, we're here every week. There's some great people on our student training here that have been where you are, and they probably got some good little helpful hints that will be able to help you, get started and move along a lot quicker. Okay. All right. And I'm always here. You can always find me on Skype if you can't get in touch with your instructor or if you're not on one of the Skype chats. I'm always available to help. Might not be exactly that minute, but I do get to all my chats before the end of the day. Make sure that everybody that has Skyped me or PM'd me with anything that they get the answer that they need, or at least instructions on where to find their answer. But we're always available. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Now, so we went over Classic and Blog.
Could we just, while you're on brunette marketing, can you tell me what the first offer on the offer page is related to? Is it anything on our
No, when I first got in, there was this cute little book that brunette that ClickBank sold, and it was 101 famous quotes from Alice in Wonderland. Great book. It was funny, witty, but the whole book was about different quotes from Alice in Wonderland. Like with the rabbit, I'm late for a very important date, so just little one-liner quotes that people often refer to and don't know where they come from. Well, the author took it down, and then he brought it back, and then he took it down, and he kept removing it, which you will find a lot on ClickBank. You will find an offer just like with the coconut oil. It comes and goes, or it changes names or changes titles, because these are little, I ain't going to say mom and pops, but they're companies that are just getting started that have seen phenomenal growth really quickly. So they come on ClickBank. You don't need to have a website to market for ClickBank. You just need to have access to link posts, basically. But they're good money makers. But a lot of them don't stick around. They're either, they get noticed by larger companies and get bought out. And then they don't go with ClickBank anymore. A lot of them, you might find them incorporated with CJ or on one of the other marketing houses that Roy doesn't promote, but that is out there. So there's different reasons. And you will see like this one, the Beauty Box 5 was another one. The sports mobile app is another one. It's not there anymore. And most of them you'll find are on ClickBank. For that reason, they come, they go, they make the money they want to make, and a lot of times they just get bought out by another company, and there's nothing there. Candy Lips was a good one that we had, and they went in-house. They decided to just market within themselves to do their marketing. So they don't do affiliate marketing, but they have come back, and you can actually request to be an affiliate marketer with them. But they want to be able to put, what do you call it? Shoot, fire, just lost me. Plugins. They require you to put a plugin for their company on your website. Well, we don't do plugins, except for the ones that come with our system that makes our system functional. But they want you to put a plug-in in your system. And when they do that, I have one on one of my other sites that they wanted me to put a plug-in, and I did. I put it in my system, and I would come back every once in a while, and look, and something in my computer system dealing with them would have changed. And what they was doing was they were going in through that plug-in and manipulating my site to their company. And so that's one of the downfalls of when you allow plugins from other companies, is that they have a back door to your system. So that's one of the reasons we don't use them, because you don't want to do that. And then we have to send it to tech or have tech support to come in and try to get it out. It's just, not good business. And you do have some businesses out there that, they see that you're making money for them, and all of a sudden there's like, hey, we can, do this to their system. We can do this and do that. And they will go in and do things to your system without your knowledge if you don't know what your system is all about. So that's why Roy does not allow those plugins. They're not really feasible, for us to use because of the way we market. We don't need that. And you don't need somebody else to be able to come into your system. So, but yeah, there's different programs out there. So whenever somebody, outside our affiliate system that we use, that you want to go in and say, hey, I would like to market that. If they asked you to put a plug-in in your system, walk away. You don't need it. That's just things that you're opening up that you don't need to. So, but yeah, if you have this, go ahead and fix it the way you want to. That's easier for you to follow. But all of these are just pages that are in your system. And some of them are not there anymore. If they're not there, then you can just put them in draft. If it's something you're never going to use, then go ahead and trash it. And if it's something you can find something compatible with it, that is similar to it, then use that link and then do your modifications around it. Okay.
Could we go to Brunette Marketing for a minute?
Yeah.
Please? Let me see. There's something here. Yeah, if you go there.
Mm-hmm.
That UK ICO offer, what is that? The Ireland?
It's there for you to market, but it's not in our page. So if you want to create a page for it, you can. I have no idea. I haven't looked at it to see, but once it comes back online, you can actually go to your preview landing page and read about it and see what's there.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. But yeah, anything that's on here, unless Roy's taking it off, is a valid offer. You just have to, and if you want to read about what it's, for, then just click on the preview landing page. It actually takes you to that company, and you can read all their information that's there, what their company's about, what they stand for. Most of the companies have their own blogging site, so you can read the different blogs and responses that people have out there for them. And so, to get a better understanding of the company that you're potentially going to market for. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So, Miss Angelica, does that help you? Is there anything else we need to, you want me to cover for you?
No, I'm just taking it all in right now.
Okay. And
Because I keep getting emails too about Valentis, but I have no idea what that is.
The which one?
Valentis. I keep getting emails saying that someone joined my team.
You're on the pre-enroll. Have you joined the Valentis yet?
No.
Okay. So what has happened is your instructor, once you get started and assign an instructor, they automatically pre-enroll you into your Valentis V marketing. And what that is every time somebody joins Valentis in your group or your organization, you get an email. And since you are pre-enrollee, that means your place is being held, but you're not an active participant yet. So it's just telling you, hey, there's somebody else that's joined that's actually going to now move you down in placement. And they're going to be above you, basically. Or, if somebody upgrades from an IR, from a pre-enrollee to an IR, then they're going to start gaining compensation for it and commission. So that's just an indicator to let you know how the system is growing and how your instructor and your team is building. And you'll be getting those, depending on how fast they're putting people in. You might be getting them every day or every other day. Valentis, their cutoff is midnight Central Time, I think, on Thursdays, which is 12 midnight Eastern Time. So usually on Wednesdays and Thursdays, you'll probably get a lot more emails letting you know that, hey, time's running out for you to upgrade. So just depends on whenever you're ready. When you become an IR, which is an independent rep, then your position is locked wherever you are at. And then your instructor can actually go in there and see where you are. And usually they can move you around. The way it is now, they can actually move you in a different location higher up if they need to in their organization. So that's just, with Valentis. So once you get your pages modified and get started, your instructor will take you through the V marketing training. And that will explain everything for you. Or we're talking about it today for episode 9. If you get a chance, tell your instructor you at least want to read about what that is, and that explains all about the V marketing and how it works.
Okay.
Okay.
Sheila?
Yes.
These people on that Valentis list that are climbing above you because they joined, and then you decide to join, they are kind of implying, are they not, that those who did not join at the same time you did are now going to be in your group when they do join?
Basically, you will, because most of the time when people join, if you're getting emails, that means it's from your direct line. So if you join before somebody else does, then that means they are in your group, not necessarily yours, particularly yours, but they will be in your group. Hold on, I'll show you. I'll pull up my Valentis.
Well, the way I understood it, and apparently it's wrong, but I thought I had to mail things out to people to attract them to come in.
No. You don't do anything like that. You're going to do the same thing you're doing now with Valentis, except with Rory. Now we do the V marketing, which is the text images. So we're going to go here to my genealogy. And what that means is our week started over on Thursday. Last week, we'll pull up last week. So last week I had 44 enrollees on my left, 17 on my right. I had one new member come in. I had one personally enrolled that came in. This is my personal volume, my fast start. This is my binary, which is, from all of my groups that are getting stuff in. This is what they are talking about right here. You see, I got 16,000 in volume. That's not just me, but this is everybody that's in my group that is getting Valentis and getting people in. And the reason I'm not making money off this is because this leg is so much bigger than this leg. They have to be matched. And it pays off the lesser leg. So right now I'm just getting paid off of this one. Okay.
So what is this left leg, right leg stuff? Do they take the people under you and divide them up into two groups, left and right?
I do that. You do that. You don't want to build just one leg. You build one leg and get it started, and then you start building your other leg. We'll talk about that once you get into Valentis, but just to explain about why you're seeing that. And once you get in, only your personal information, your personal ones is the ones that you need to worry about. The other ones that will be under you once you get in, their volume will go into this binary and it will accumulate.
Okay.
And then at the end of every month, you get paid on this accumulation the lesser of the accumulation. So that's why right now I'm building this leg up so that it matches. And then that way I can get the optimal payout. But as long as, you don't want one to override the other one, but you first start out building one, then you come back and build the other one, and then you alternate once you get them basically evenly matched. I started out wrong. We didn't start out wrong. We started out the way that we thought it was, and then Roy found out that that wasn't the right way, so now we're trying to catch up. But as you can see, it's color coordinated. You have all your independent reps, and then, if you have your customers, they're in blue. All your pre-enrollees are in pink. And so you can just see how that works out. So the last pre-enrollee is there, came in yesterday. So there's different ways that you can, see how things work. So there's, but yeah, whenever you get in, everybody that comes in after you will be in your group, because you will only see emails for people in your group. So I won't see people that might be in Stacy Saffon's group, or, see people in Paul Rankin's group, because they're not in my group. But I'll see people that's in my group, that's in Debbie Lizay's group. And all of that gets together. We always get all that stuff together, and you get to see all of your information. So as of right now, we've only got one pre-enrollee, which came in yesterday. So every Friday, it starts over. So even though this looks like 0, it's not. So but yeah, once you get into your Valentis, and if you're a pre-enrollee, you can go and look at your group. Log into your pre-enrollee when you come in here. How you saw it at the beginning, where mine showed, it'll show pre-enrollee, members, and then if you want to take a tour. Go to your pre-enrollee side, put in your email, and then click. And then it will pull up this same thing. You click on your genealogy, and you can see the volume that's building up in your group. Okay. All right.
I had no idea I could do that yet.
Yep. If you are a pre-enrollee and you're getting those emails from Valentis, all you have to do is go and look in your pre-enrollee log, log into your pre-enrollee side. It'll come in. You can go into your genealogy and look at what's going on in your leg in the business side that you're in. You can also go in there and upgrade. You don't even have to call your instructor and say, hey, I'm upgrading. You go in there and upgrade, and they will receive an email the minute everything clears the bank. Promise you. I got one Wednesday from a student, and I was like, you upgraded? It's like, yeah, I thought I'd go ahead and do it. I was like, okay, great. We'll start training. So he got his leads this morning. So I'll be on the phone as soon as I get off with y'all and show him how to work his leads, since we've already done the actual training. So now I'm just going to show him how to do his leads. So, there's so many things you can go in there and have a look at. Hopefully DC, once they get all their stuff together, we'll have something similar with that, where, you can do like a pre-enroll or be a customer and go in and look and upgrade whenever you want to without having to notify the instructor or the person that invited you. So that's wonderful. All right.
That would be great if they did a pre-enrolling thing with DC.
Wouldn't it though? I think that's what they're hoping to get with the new compensation plan that they're doing. And with the customers now, you can go onto the website and go straight to your customer. Customer can order straight from the website. And then if they want to upgrade, once they're in on your website, they can go and upgrade and you won't even need to be there. There's just a button, you want to be a VIP customer here. And that's where we would give them the code or the coupon. We haven't gotten those yet. And they would just type in that coupon code and then they could upgrade for free. And then they just have to pay the fee for, if they want to be a brand partner, which one. So
Great. Thank you.
But yeah. All right. So we covered that. All right. So let's go over. I want this thing to go away and it's not. All right. So the other thing we want to talk about is you see the blocks in the documents, and a lot of people are blocking documentation. So what the document does is the document is in reference to your overall site or the page that you're on. It's listed as a document. So it's telling you your visibility, which is public, which means this is gone. It has been published. Tells you the date it was published. And this is something I tell all of my students, if you have modified a page and you've done everything, you've changed your links, you've changed the setting, the verbiage in it, you've changed out the pictures, you've done everything and made this page yours, in the edit mode, go to the date and change that date to the date that you finished it, so that you know that, hey, this is my page, I've finished it, it's been published. That way you're not debating on, did I do this page or not? Is this my page? Change the date, because all of Rory's stuff is either 2016, 17, or 18. If you're in there modifying it and you just got in the last month or so when it says 2017, you know you didn't touch it. So go ahead and change this date once you finish your modifications. That way, that's your marker that, hey, I've done this page, I've touched it, it's finished. It also shows you your revisions. Here, it shows you your permalink. If you're like, what is my link? I don't know my permalink. There's your permalink. You can also set a featured image. And this one doesn't have one. Your featured image needs to be at least 250 by 250. If it's anything smaller than that, it will pick the next largest image that meets that criteria on your page. Even though you've set an image, if it doesn't meet that criteria, it won't use it. The reason being is because the social media markets have a standard that you have to use. It has to be at least that size, or they won't publish the picture with your link. So you always, if you can, set a feature image, make sure that it's at least that size, and your image.
Where does that go, the featured image? Where does that get placed on your page?
Yeah, it would actually show right up above your title.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
It shows above your title. And then that way it knows that's the image. Whenever you put your permalink in and you click it, then that image is going to be beside your title.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. So you always want to make sure that you have that. And like with mine, I think this one I have, let's see if it shows. Did I set it as a feature? Okay, so we're going to go here and I'll show you how to set the feature image. And I'm going to upload it because I hadn't built my image yet. So I went in and actually created a meme. That's how I do things. So I'm going to go here and we're going to go to my logos. I know I clicked one too many. Hold on. And we're going to pull up that meme. Okay, this one's an 8. You see how it tells you the dimensions? This one is an 800 by 800. I had to do a couple of them because one of my ad sites, see, this one's a 1041 by 1041. This is a 1080 by 1080. I had to go back in and remake this one because one of my advertising sites, this is the biggest picture it would allow me to put in, was an 800 by 800. So I want to, yeah, let's use that one. We'll still use that one because it at least, okay. And you see, once it shows you pictures, it gives you all the details for your pictures. When the date that you're going to put it in there, it tells you your size by pixel. And then if I don't want it, I can delete it permanently, which is delete it out of my media library. And then if I wanted to edit the image, I can click on edit image. And all that does when you edit image, allows you to crop it, or it allows you to turn it sideways, you know, or however. I have some pictures that when I downloaded them, they were just turned sideways or they were upside down. So when you go to edit image, you can actually turn it and fix it the way it needs to be fixed and saved. Same thing here with captions. You can write captions. You can do alternative text. Again, just for indexing, you always want to make sure. And then if I wanted to put a description, I could, but I'm not going to because just don't need it. And then I'm going to set that as the featured image. And then I'm going to update it. Okay. And then once my page is published and people come and see it, then my featured image will be right up here on the top. But anytime I advertise this link, this picture will show up with it. So we can actually go there. We'll copy that. And so the other thing, when we go to block, when you go to block, it will click on that you have no block selected. So when you go to documents, it's just for your overall, you know, page. We don't worry about any of this discussions. Now you can click on this, and what it does is at the very bottom of your page, it allows people to put comments. I don't do that with everything, but I do have some pages, you know, if you are doing an opinion page or if you want feedback from people that have tried the product, then you can click on that and it allows them to actually put a comment in. But be very cautious because, you know, you're going to have some people that are just going to go in and comment on your page and be very derogatory. So if you have that as a stipulation on a page that you have out there you're advertising, you want to check it every day to make sure there's nothing ugly out there that could potentially cause your site harmful damage, you know, because somebody's out there being a jerk. So be very cautious when you do that, but you do have that option that you can allow people to comment on a page directly on your page. We don't worry about the attributes. That's just something technical. We don't even need to worry about that. But that's for pages. Now with blocks, say you want to see a particular block, then you click on that block and it will tell you what kind of block you're using. So if you're looking at a block and you're just like, okay, what did I use? How can I fix that? You just click on that block and it tells you, you know, here's your attributes that you need to fix. If there's anything related to that block that you need to go in and have a look at. But it gives you some information on the block, what you want to do. You know, if you want to do the font size, say you want to change that particular one. If you want to do a drop cap. So it basically lets you manipulate the block once you click on it. And then with the document, again, it tells you, you know, just basically information on your whole page. That's what the document's for. Okay? That clear that up?
Yes, thank you.
All right. So, and then the other thing we were looking at is how to advertise. So I'm going to close this one out. And I'm going to leave both of those up there. So we're going to see if this one is open today. We are going to go to that one. And I have templates. And Roy talks about this in one of his episodes. I want to say it's episode 1 or 2, might be 3, where he talks about templates. And what you want to do is, I have several different templates that I use. This is my biggest one, and this is my running template. Whenever I create a new ad, I always put it here, just because this is the one that I use all the time. Now, I do have ad copies that's specific just for Christmas. So if it's just for Christmas or a holiday, then I'll put it here. So I know those are specific to a particular time of the year. And I don't have to look through all of these other ones. And then this is one that we started on our first class on how to do a template. And all you're going to do basically is you're going to open up a Word document. Okay. And since this one is one that we already have, I don't think there's too many out there, so we can still use it. But you're just going to open up a Word document. If you don't have Microsoft Office on your computer, you can have sticky notes or Notepad. That you can use those the same way. You're just going to come in here and just start writing your ad. And yeah, this one only has 6 pages. So this one, we did add quite a few bit. And you see that one page I did, is that this was the original page, and it wasn't getting a lot of traffic to it. So I knew I needed to do something different. I mean, it got a lot of looks, but after, talking to y'all gave me some great ideas, not inadvertently. I believe you gave me some great ideas, just talking of some of the things. I was like, you know what? I need to make this better. Like I said, your system is always a work in progress. I did this as one of my first pages. When I first got in, my writing has changed. My thought process has changed. I've changed. So I'm able to think a lot better of how I want things to go. So you'll always go back to pages you created today in a couple of months, and you'll come back and be like, oh, I can do that better. Or I like this sound better. So these are just things I took straight off my pages that I wrote, and just put stuff in there. Rory actually has some things that you can write about in, this is not the right one. I didn't think that was the right one. It might be. Well, we're going to just start a new one. So what we're going to do is just come up here, and we're going to go and create a new page. I don't want a new folder. I just want to come up here. Sorry, I'm thinking.
What happened to the humming?
I was. Didn't you hear me? I was going, All right, so we're going to come here and do a new Word document. All right, and so it put it right here. Where did I move it to?
Hey, Sheila,
Yes, dear.
you ought to learn the words to the song I sent you and hum that.
I know. I need to look. I think I might have to put some of those on my own. Oh, there it is. So here's a new document, and it's blank. So as you can see, it's just a blank document page. And I always try to put my date. So I know when I created it. Sometimes I forget. And we want to center it. Color it. Standard. Okay. So there's that. So then what we have to decide is what we're going to be marketing. Okay. And what you want to do, like I always say, you want to have at least 2 of your websites up, 2 versions of it. That way you're not going back and forth between one trying to find what you want. So I know this is a page that I want to market. So I'm going to look at it. Number one, my first thing I want to do is put a title. Okay, no. Okay, cancel. So I'm going to pull this up, grab this right here, and I want to put my title. And it's going to be okay, and I always want to do at least 3 or 4.
Are these the headlines?
But these are going to be my headlines. And like I said, I have, always try to have at least 3 or 4. And the reason being is you want a different headline for every day that you market. And you want to be marketing every day. And there's people that say, I can't do that. I can't think of what I want to say. After you write your page, while it's still fresh in your mind, write your template for your advertising. That way you're still in the same train of thought. You still have fresh ideas in your head. You're still in that mode of what you want to write or how you want to do it. And then all you're going to do is you're going to come back here. The easiest thing that you can do is go to your snippet right here. Go to your snippet editor. Copy this right here. Then go back to your page that you're doing. And this is going to be your description. I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. And then you're going to paste that snippet in there. And read it and expand on it because it's too short. All right, so it says find out more here. I'm going to go back here and grab my link again because I just copied it over it. Go back to my page and copy my link. All right, so basically there is my template for my advertising. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my classifieds for free. I'm going to log in. And we're going to pray that it works today. All righty. And we're going to go to post an ad. And right now I want it to go out to the United States, and my header, we're going to click on a header. So we're going to pull up our template again. I'm going to copy this first one. Go back here, paste my header in. Okay, my category. So let's look at my categories. What do I have an option to choose from? All right, and what would work best in here? We could do personals. Do personals. I don't put any information in here. Sometimes if there's a price, I'll put a price. Then I'm going to go back to my template. I'm going to copy everything, since this one will allow me to put a link in. If you're on a advertising site and it doesn't allow you to put the link in it, don't put the link in it. Then I'm going to paste that right there. My URL, I'm going to come here and copy this. Put it right there. And then my pictures. So I'm going to look and see if I have some pictures here. And I want to lead off with, which isn't there. There it is. I want to lead off with this one. Then I want to include, this one looks pretty yummy. And one more. Here, I need one with a beach scene. There we go, right there. Use that one. Okay, so there's my images, and then I'm going to post my ad. And then it's going to tell me what it looks like. It's going to show me what it looks like. If it's working today. It wasn't working the other day. I had to go to another ad site. And this should cover the two questions about how to create a template and how to organize it. And all I did is once they got into my document page and I save it, then it'll be in my saved file. Oh, come on. There we go. So this is how my ad looks, how the two work. Then it's got my little blurb that I'm telling them, and it's listed under personables. It's got my pictures. This one actually has my logo on it, so that's great. And then this is the important thing. Do I want to post another ad? Click here to go back. And I click here. And it goes right back to my ad that I had previously. And I can start going to the different states with it. And you can just go straight down the list, but make sure that your advertisers that is in your ad ship to those states. I know my ad, the people that I'm advertising for only ship in the United States. So I don't want to go anywhere outside the United States. They do not ship to American Samoa. They don't ship to Guam. So I know not to ship it there. I know not to send it there. Or if you just want to be specific and say, hey, I want this to go to California, then I'm just going to post it to California. When it comes back up, then I can go here. Don't know what that means. What did it say? I don't know who that host life sales. So we're going to just go ahead and post this ad. Hope somebody ain't breaking into my site. I've already had somebody break into my Facebook page this week. So we'll see if this one goes, but that's how you would go through there. Now, the other one I like to use is my Instagram, and we will go through there. We're going to let that post. Hopefully we'll come back and it'll be posted. So what we're going to do is go through our Instagram. We're going to go here to Grambler. We're going to pray that it's working today. And we're going to do the same thing. Grambler is a great program that is Instagram for your desktop. So it's more accessible to me because I have everything on my desktop. I don't have everything on my phone. Even though my Dropbox is linked on my phone, it's still easier for me to come through Grambler to do everything, because then it's just a click away. I can open up multiple tabs. Where on my phone, it's like I got to move things here, move things there. Yeah, I know. I got to change my password. No, that's not it. I had to change it. Okay. So then we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to come here. I'm going to grab an image, and it's going to be one. And if you have the ability to make a logo, especially on these places that only allow you to do one picture, then you want to make sure that you have your logo, that you have the best picture you can get. Let's see, this 1041. This is 1080. Let's do the 1080. Okay. Because then they have access to come to my website, even though I'm still going to be using my website information too. So then there's my picture, and you can put filters if you want to change the coloring, if you want to put motion to where it looks like it's coming out at you, however you want to do it. And then you just hit continue. I just want this to be stationary. And then my caption. So then I'm going to come back here. Do I still have it? No, I copied the link. So I'm going to come back here. And with Instagram, you want to make sure you have your link in your phrasing or in your description. And then I'm going to paste it here. I want it done immediately. And click on hashtags. So hashtags is going to be
Each one of those hashtags will go under different categories when
Yep.
people search? Okay.
Yep. Yep.
So you're just kind of making the hashtags up sort of as a relationship to the...
Yeah, and hopefully there's one out there. If not, then I've just created one. And people will look for it. It's just like Google. When people come on Instagram, they'll put hashtag so-and-so. So if they put hashtag sexy people, then anything that's under sexy people that's been advertised for there will show up.
Okay. I wasn't sure that's...
Yep.
Okay.
And then we're going to hit send, and hopefully it's going to send. It does have a timer on this. So there it told me that I have, and this money is Instagram money that Instagram gives you. It's virtual money. You can't cash it out for real money. I've tried. But it's virtual money for any time somebody comes in and likes a page that I post, Instagram gives me money for it. And then I can go back and use that to get more posts and gain more friends or more followers. I actually now have more followers than I have following, which is great. So that means there's more people looking at me than I'm looking at them. So once you get this and you get everything up, they give you the option, hey, you want to post it to these different places. So then I can click here and say, yeah, I want to post it to my Facebook page. And it might not let me because I don't think password. That guy put in my new password. Hold on. and then log in. And it's going to post that same information I just posted, and then I can write something here.
Is this on your business page on Facebook?
Yes, yes, my business page.
Okay.
Yep. And then what I can do is paste this right here. And then I'm going to come here and post, which is that blue line down there that's this thing will not go away for. Okay. That's what it is. Okay. So this is my business page, but because my business page is linked to my personal pages, then it will show up. So it's going to go to my news feed. So you see that my news feed's highlighted. So it's going to show up on my news feed as well, which is what you want to do, because then Facebook will pick up a lot of news feeds. They pick up news feeds based on live video first, recorded video second, images third, no pictures are last. So if you do anything on your news feed and it doesn't have a picture, any kind of image on it, then most of the time it will not get seen. Live feeds are usually broadcast first for anybody that is in your group, or for social, or for Google to pick up if you have it listed as public. If you have it listed as private, then it will only go to those people that you've designated to receive private messages. So, so then I can click out of this. Facebook is done. And I can go back to my Grambler. And if I want to shoot out a tweet, I can do the same thing in tweet and just put a message. All right. And then I'm going to tweet that out. Tweet, you have to be very concise, because it only allows you so many characters on a tweet. So you can't write a novel and tweet it out. It won't allow you to. So then I'm going to come back here to my Grambler. And the last thing you want to do is, if you get this message, says you've gained enough likes that you can get additional likes, always do that. Unless you are on Rory's meme program, do not do that. It will interfere with his programming. So just ignore this. I'm not on Rory's memes. I had a big account list before then, so I didn't need that. But if you are new to Instagram, and that can be part of your budget, because there is a fee for it every month, then definitely you want to get into that memes program, because it will help you build up your followers. So then I'll just click on yes. No. Y'all still there? Did I lose you? Okay.
I think we're back.
Just for a bit.
Yeah. I saw it came up. So then I just clicked on the yes. So if you are not in Rory's memes group, then you need to use that. But if you do the memes program with Rory, do not do that. That will interfere with their programming and the timing of when memes get sent out. So that's the only no-no when you're using Grambler, is that you do not do the free likes if you're in the memes program. So in less than 10 minutes, I've posted my ad through the United States. I've posted it in California specifically. I've sent out a tweet. I've sent out a Facebook message. And I've also sent out an Instagram message, all with just one template and one ad. Now, that's just one. So I've actually created, based on my ad, I got 4 more days of doing that same thing for the same program. Now, you can come up with different ads. Once you get started, you can have as many as you want. You can actually come here and reword this if you want to reword it or write a whole different one so that you have several different descriptions for the same thing, and then just mix and match them. I do it all the time. You have the same headlines, or you can add more headlines. You can rework headlines, have 2 or 3 different descriptions, and say, well, this sentence can go with this sentence can go with that, and create a whole new advertisement, and then have the same link. So that's how you create your templates. And then once I get finished, I'm going to put this down as add template. So I'm going to go to my file, and I'm going to hit save as. And it's going to ask me where I want to save it. And I'm going to put in my templates. And then it tells me, you know, since I named it, it's going to have that name. But since I want to make sure that it's an ad, this says Microsoft Word document. I don't want it to have that. So I'm going to put add copy or add template. Which one do I want to use? I'm going to do add copy. And again, this is going to be various. But I'm going to put today's date, so that I know when I created it, and then hit save. And then when I come to my folder, my templates folder, which is in my Dropbox, I have a templates folder, and these are all the templates. Anytime I create a new page, I copy that page and I put it here. So if for any reason my site goes down or it gets a virus and I have to rebuild my site, I have all of my pages that I wrote, and all I have to do is copy and paste them. So that's a good thing that you want to do, is if you are creating new pages, after you finish with them, you want to copy them into a Word document and save them somewhere, so that if anything happens, because I know there's a couple instructors that their systems before, we had all the security protocols that we have now, their systems were hacked because they invited somebody to come in through a plug-in, and their system was corrupted. And they had to start over. They had to go in and wipe out their system, clean everything out, and start over again. So they lost all of their content. They didn't back it up. We don't necessarily have a backup system, so this is my backup. I just copy my pages, put it in a Word document, use the same title, and save it. Then that way you have it for you, just in case something happens, you have everything that you need. So then when I come to my templates, and since I have mine in alphabetical order, then here's my add copy. Here's my new template. So, and then whenever I want to, I just pull up my templates, and I was like, okay, which add copy do I want to use now? Which one do I want to go to? And I can just pull up one. Since I know this is my oldest one, it has the most in it, I will use that one period all the time. This new one, since it has my newest one in, I'll probably copy that one and put it here so that I have it, or start a new one, because this one's about 30 pages, so I probably need to start a new one anyway. So it's just different ways that you want to go in and save your templates. But anytime you finish a page, and I suggest the best way is to have a running template. And you want to, like this one, like I said, this is my oldest one. And when you pull it up, you can see that I have everything under the sun. Every one of my pages is on here at some point in time. So right here. So actually it's 27 pages. So right here this is my self-affirmation. I listen to this about twice a week. It's 2 hours long. So usually when I'm cleaning up, I pull it up on YouTube and I listen to it. It's just positive thinking. And the other things that I have on here is my no ship states. Alabama, we can take that off because you can ship to their winery, not a winery, but an ABC store with them. Delaware, Mississippi, Utah, Virgin Islands. Yep. So those are our 5 states still that we cannot ship to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 states. we will probably never be able to ship to Utah, but we're working on it. These other ones, because right now,
That's where
Hey, Sheila.
he lives.
What was that, Miss Estelle?
Well, I was just saying, that's funny because that's where Rory lives.
Yes, it does. He has to go across state lines to pick up his wine.
I was going to ask you if we couldn't just ship Utah.
Move Utah away.
Ship it wherever.
Sometimes, boy, that's like in Canada. I think, what did he say? Ontario, was that one? Quebec. One of those two is being a holdout that we can't ship to them. So if we have, I can't remember which one it was. Is the
Probably the bloody French,
Yeah.
Quebec.
It is. I think it is, because they said it's one of the bigger provinces. You can't, they still are not allowing them to ship there. So we have just about every province in Canada except for that one. But they're still going to work on it. That's why they said they're not going to hold off anymore until they get all the provinces, because that was one of the things, was they wanted to get all the provinces okay, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the thing. So now they have the majority of them. So now they're just working out the legalities of it. And I think today they announced the date, or close to the date, of when they're going to be doing pre-enrollment there. Because we have several DC people up there that come across the border, that, depending on what end of Canada they're on, and pick it up, and then have to pay customs when they get it back over.
Oh, they do go back.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're not damn Yankees.
Yeah, they do go back. So, but this is how I have my ad copy that I started. And I started out with the pertinent information based on what I'm doing. Like, my direct sellers is always my number one. And I have information, so I know when I posted these states, I always put a disclaimer that we are not allowed by state regulations to direct ship to you, but you can pick it up in a, that's what I put them in there. And then I always try to explain how that works. And then I have my direct sellers, all my ads for them, different ones, and I mix and match. And then, like this one, I have like wine, coffee, and bubble baths, wine, cigars, and bubble bath that I can mix in. This one I threw in there last night because it was late, and I was like, okay, I got to get to bed, but I want to put this in there. And then I have like my Sephora for my vacation. I got that in there, and it kind of mixed in with my wine. I don't know how that happened. I was probably half asleep. But I have several for my wine. Then I started with my Valentis, which is my two ones that I have to pay for, that we pay for. And I have different ones. And then there's my relationship and sex that I just did. I went with my romance page that I have. Don't know how that got separated. I've got to get in here and work some stuff. It's all wonky. Then, I have different things. These are not pictures, but if I find a code for a video that I want to use, then I always add this one. This is the DC compensation plan. But since it changed, I'm going to have to take this code out and put it in there, but that'll be fine until we get everything up and running. And then here's another one, become your own boss in the weight loss business, talking about Valentis again. It's a page that I wrote. So different things. And then WordPress, those of you that are looking for more affiliates, WordPress has an affiliate program. So you can actually, market WordPress, get people to, no problem. Talk to you later, Mr. Lewis. I'll record it and put it up. So, we're running a little late since we didn't get started until 2. We'll probably be finished here in a little bit. So, and then this is, just however you want. As soon as you come up with an idea, you just keep it running. And then you can come in and modify it, make it a little bit prettier, categorize everything the way you want to. But always make sure you have your headline, you have your content that you can choose from. And then you always have your link that you want to be able to go to so that you have everything right there when you get ready to market. Now, the other thing that we had to go over was locations for your advertising. The only stipulation you have for your location for advertising is your advertiser. So when you're going to market those programs, you want to look and see where they can advertise at. And if you're on CJ, it will tell you in their information when you go to click, it will tell you they market in this state, this country, this country. So you want to make sure that where you're marketing to, that you're allowed to market to. If it says worldwide, then you market everywhere. When you come here, you start with each state. I always say start with the United States, then go through every state in the United States. You click on each state. So this one, we went to California. Let's go to Florida next. We'll post this same one in Florida. And you see, I'm not changing anything. So we're going to post this one to Florida. And once it gets finished, then I'll come back through and I'll post it again, but I'll eventually come back and then I'll go from the state, then I'll go to each city in that state. I'll pick, if I don't want to do every city, I might just pick a couple of cities. But there's no really saying you can't market here, you can't market there. You want to market everywhere that it's available to market to. You want to get as many ads out there as you can get in as many places. So once I get finished with this one, since this we did in personals, the next place I'm going to do is I'm going to come back, depending on how long you spend on advertising. Now, this is just one advertisement. And depending on how long you want to set aside for advertising, you don't change your category. You don't change your header. You're not going to change your description. You're not going to change your pictures. The next thing you do is after this finishes posting, you can change your categories. We put this one in personals because that's the first place that most people is going to look for this type of content. But you can also post this in miscellaneous and you can post it in general. So if there's more than one category that you can post your ad, you want to post it in every category that it's relevant to. And then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to post it in the United States. You're going to post it in every state in the United States, then come back and post it in the cities. If you run out of time, I dedicate 2 hours every day to advertising. So if you run out of time on those 2 hours, don't go over your time. Don't get out of your routine or out of your schedule. Just mark your place and say, all right, this is where I stopped. And then the next day when you get ready to sit down and do your advertising, that's where you pick up. And then you start, once you finish that, and it's like, okay, I want to start with my next ad. And that'll be whatever page that you have finished or that you've just modified that you want to go ahead and create your template. If you get finished advertising that particular ad that you have before your 2 hours are up, but you don't have enough time to start a new ad, then that's when you pull up your template because you've already finished your page and start adding more ad copy. Go ahead and do more headlines for your next article or for your next page that you're getting ready to promote. Go ahead and pull it up. Read over your article so it gets it fresh in your mind. If you want to add to it or modify it right then, go ahead and do it. And then go ahead and do your headlines. I need to put in here that these are the headlines. All right, and you want to make sure that it's distinguishable, so that I know that these are my headlines right here. So it's highlighted or it's smaller. This is my description. So that when you come back, you're going to do the same thing. If you want to do the next one, you're just going to come back and, I'm all about color. So if I want to change the color, to whatever my next one's going to be, say I want to do it on health. All right, so that's going to be my next one. And then I can come in here. My next category is going to be health and weight loss. Then I'm, create some pages for my Valentas. And I'll do the same thing. I'll create at least 5 or 6 headlines. And do my description and have at least one or two description paragraphs, and then I'll go in and market it, and I'll do the same thing. And every day you want to have a different title. So if today we did relationships and sex, then tomorrow when I sit down, then I'm going to do this one. Or you can do each one in different locations in a day. It's just however you want to market and advertise. But just remember, you got a whole system to advertise. So if you want to do one a day on this one and then do another one, it just depends on how much time you have and how much you've allocated to advertising. But you do need to advertise your site every day. But the other thing is, you don't want to start advertising your site if your links are not done. So the first thing you need to do is make sure all your links are complete in your website, not your modifications necessarily, but that every page has your link for your affiliate. You don't want Rory's links to still be in there if you're advertising your website, because somebody potentially could look through your site, which is what they're going to do. And they're going to come across the site and market that you have not changed your links in, and it might be something they've been looking for, and they're going to click it. And the next thing you know, Rory gets a commission for something off your site. So you want to make sure, if nothing else is done, you have all your links done. And then you come back and do your modifications. And then as you modify a page, advertise it. That way you start gaining traffic to your system. The new programming that we have, you do your wine and coffee pages first. You modify them whether you're in the program or not. You go ahead and modify those pages and then work on modifying your other ones. Go ahead and get all your links in there. On your wine and coffee, if you're not in the programs yet, get your instructor's link and put in there. That way it stays within your group, so that when you do get in, then your instructor and you will be able to benefit off the volumes created. Okay, so always make sure that whatever happens is beneficial to you and your group, and that everybody is marketing correctly. But when you go to advertise, you want to make sure that all of the links in your website are yours. Okay. So that means if you have to take a weekend and do nothing but links, then that's what you do. And then you work on your modifications, because you want to get your system out there as fast as possible, and you want traffic coming to your system as fast as possible. So get in there, get those pages, links changed, get your pages modified, and start advertising. And you can't advertise too much. If you only have 200 ads out there, it's not enough. If you have, like me, you got over 7,000 ads out there, it's not enough. Paul Rankin, I bet you he has probably thousands, hundreds of thousands of ads, and he will tell you it's not enough. You want to saturate your system in the marketing place. And there's no way to do that with the way the world's growing and the way the internet's growing. And my husband came in the other day. He listens to financial reports all the time. Guess who the two biggest companies are right now? Right now, the two biggest companies for advertising and marketing is Google and Facebook. So we need to be on Google and Facebook. We are. So advertise. Okay. So I think that covers everything that we had on here. If I missed anything, let me know.
Can I just ask something related to what we were just talking about? In regarding Instagram, Instagram/Gambler, however you say that, and Twitter. Now, if I have personal accounts on Instagram and Twitter, I don't want to use that for my advertising. Am I able to create a new account with a business name for free?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, none of these charge for you to advertise on. So if you can have as many accounts as you want, but I would, if you already have a following on those, I would definitely still use it. I would still advertise on there. That doesn't mean you have to do nothing but advertise, just like with Facebook. Facebook doesn't want you to do nothing but advertising with them unless you set up a business account. So if you have those accounts out there, Instagram and Twitter, that you already have a following, still do what you're doing now personally, and then just every once in a while put a plug in for your system. Put a little blurb out there. I would not let that's a resource you need to utilize.
Sheila, I have two quick questions regarding what we went over with the marketing.
Yep.
Okay, so on Facebook, speaking of Facebook, I always send things out and post them on Facebook if I put them on Instagram. But should I be putting them in addition to public? Should I also be clicking news feed before I push to publish to post my?
If usually the news feeds will pick up on your information based on their criteria. So just because you click on the news feed does not necessarily mean that it will pick up on the news feed, because they do have, they'll on a news feed, usually, like I said, live video goes first, delayed video or recorded video goes second, pictures and images go third, and then just plain text is usually the last thing that a news feed will pick up. So if you want to use the news feed and do it on news feed, go ahead, but that doesn't mean that it's going to show up. But it will show up on your personal information regardless of where you put it. Just the news feeds will pick up based on how many people are viewing it, and if it's getting a lot of popularity, they will pick it up. But you can, definitely click on news feed and go ahead and post it. But always make sure that you have at least 2 pictures on a news feed. Okay,
great. I didn't know that, the 2 pictures. Okay. Yeah. And my final question is, you mentioned logos to make sure the picture is nice and crisp and clear, and I understand that. So can we kind of create a logo for our site? Am I understanding that correctly?
Oh, yeah. I use Canva. I love it. It's a free program. And it literally gives you access. Paul Rankin uses it all the time. It is a free program that you can create anything you want to. And most of these are, when you go to use Canva, they have, like this one, it's a pre-launched advertising or poster, and you just put your information where it needs to go. Same thing with the business cards, or you can start from scratch. And it tells you, if you want to post to social media, it tells you this is Instagram. This is the size that Instagram needs to be for you to get the best feed from an Instagram. If you want to do a story on Instagram, it gives you the format on how you can create a story to put on Instagram. Same thing with Facebook story. If you want to create a cover, you can create your own documents, letterhead, resumes, all kind of stuff here. If you want to do a presentation, then you have your business card. I mean, everything is right here. Then you have your marketing. You can do posters, logos, flyers. They have preloaded logos, and you just go in and put your information, or you can create your own. And that's what I do, is I create my own. And when you do that, you just click on create a design. If you want to do a logo, you click on logo, and you can create a design, and you can upload an image. Say you got an image in your head that you like, or an image that you found on Google, or that you've taken a picture of, anything, and you can just hit that you want to upload that image, and then you just click your upload, and it asks you where you want to upload it from. So these are images that I've used, and then once I get them there, then I can layer them on top of each other. Like here's one of mine. So if I wanted to have a background, so I want to use this picture, I'll click this picture. There she is. All right. I want to minimize her. Let's get rid of that one since I'm using a smaller version. We're going to put her over here. I like this lady here. And we're going to minimize her, get rid of the original, and then we can move her around. Okay.
Neat. Okay.
So you can layer things, and if I, say I want her a little bit smaller, create like that, So then, so I've layered those. And what's another picture I want to put in here? I want a nice picture of some wine. I've cleaned it out, so I've taken out a lot of my pictures. But say I want a good wine picture, just a bottle of nice wine. So
Right.
I'm going to go open up, download, all right, my blogging pictures, and I'm going to go to my folders that I have of wine.
Mm-hmm.
And do I have them in a folder? Might have all my wine down here at the bottom. Let's see. These are all pictures that I haven't categorized yet. I got to get them in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool pictures.
I saw that too.
Yeah. All right. So I want a nice bottle of wine. See, that's my Halloween. See my Halloween?
Yeah.
So there's my little lady. This is nice. Okay, not wine. Let's do a wine club. Here we go. Right here. So got that. Put that in there. And then I want to move this here. I'm going to get rid of that. And okay. So, and then we can add text to it. So here's my text icon. And do I want to use it as a header? So yes. Click on it, and I want to move it up here. We're going to expand it out a little bit. And then I'm going to come in here. All right. And we're going to come up here. I want that to be just a little bit smaller. And I want it to come up here. And I want that to be a different color. I'm a purple baby. And I want it to have a fun design. There we go. And let's bold that. Okay. And then I want to put me another text. I'm going to expand this out. And you can play with this, even though it looks like it's overlapping. Is that right? Is that how you spell that? Sophistication?
Yes. I think so.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So then we can manipulate this to fit in here. And I still want that wording smaller, not that small. Too small. All right, but I want to drop down just a little bit. And then same thing, we want to change the color. Try to keep a theme going on. And we want to change that, same thing. And then And then this can be a logo, or you can, change it like with this one if you want to join today.
Right.
And then right here, I'm going to put down at the bottom. And I'm going to say, because it already tells them to join today. And I'm going to put visit here to join. And then I'm going to come up here. And I'm going to get my, well, actually, let's pull up my template. I'm going to pull up my ad template. And I want my wine page. My wine business page that I made. Right here. Copy that. Then I'm going to pull that back up. Paste that in there. Okay. And then we're going to, this is where you get to play around with it, because we want to move this up just a little bit. I want to move this up just a little bit. And I want this to be by itself. Spread this out. And let's move this. There's too much spacing there. Okay. And again, we want to keep our formats the same. I'm going to keep that and purple and bold. And then let's do us a background, because that white looks just too bland. And want to see, is that too much? That's too much. And then you can't see my writing. So let's go and do patterns. And we can see all kind of patterns. And what will look good? Okay, that's bleeding in. There we go. Complement. What is complementing? Let's move you over so you don't bleed in with her. Like that. I like that. Okay. That looks another type of pink. Then you can't see my writing. And this is where you can go and play with it. If you don't like the color combination, you can find the right one. And you just, play around. You want to make sure that it complements everything that you have going on, because they have the wine color dress, purple dress. So I've used my purple writing. So you want to make sure that the colors you use for background is going to complement that. There's some more. That's going to, well, oh yeah, that stands out. I like that.
That looks great.
So now once I've done that, then you can see I have my link, and you can just put, like, this is going to my wine page because of the way I've done it. And I can just put this out there, and I'm going to hit download. And I'm going to download it here. It automatically pulls up as a PNG. You can download it as a PNG. It's a bigger file. It's a crisper file. And it tells you what the size is, or you can compress it to that size. But it's going to be whatever size you've picked it as a logo. Or you can download it to a JPEG, which is what our system uses, PNGs and JPEGs. If you're going to use it for advertising on free ad sites, most of them will need the smaller one. So you can do it as a JPEG. I always do mine as a PNG. And then I will click on that and then download it. And then it asked me if I want to make that into a business card. You have to pay to get that. They're still reasonably priced, but they will take whatever image you create and you can design it into a business card.
Great. And that's awesome, Sheila. I appreciate that. I have a question. If you wanted to create a business card, with your web, like I think I saw one with Mama, Shop Mama Chief. Can you do that? And then when people ask you, in the community or whatever, of course, just hand them your business card or.
Yep. And I'll show you my business card. I actually made one. It's on my Canva. Hold on. I'll show it to you. And I used Canva to make it. So here's all my designs that I've made here on Canva, all for free. Haven't paid for one. And I just have to find where it's at. So here's my business card.
Awesome.
And this is a background that I found on Google. I just imported the background. This is my writing. I picked my own font, and I've got my main website. I have my Instagram that they can follow me on Instagram. And then I have my Valentis direct link and my Wine Direct Sellers direct link. Because I want them to come to my website, but they can go straight here to either one. I have another business card that actually has my wine web page on there. So it just depends on how you want to market your business site. Since I am Native American, I found an image that I like that, exhibited what I wanted to exhibit. So people always knows me as Mama Chief. So this is my business card. And then once I created it, then I just went to, what was the Avery? Avery's a free site you download. You just pull up their business card program that you have that's there, and they will give you the different size business cards, and you can just go to Walmart or wherever and buy the Avery business packet. It gives you the code on there, and they usually come, I think, in 100 packs for like $4 or $5. And then you just print it, and you can, it prints. If you have a great printer, good quality printer, it will print it exactly the way it shows up. It's already perforated, and you just pop them out and send them. You don't have to have, I actually use the cream colored. I don't use the white. I buy the cream colored cardstock. Same thing with direct sellers. If you go to the resource tab in direct sellers, they actually have PDF files you can download for all of their flyers. So if you want to look at their VIP program and, you want to hand out a flyer, or brochure, you can download that and copy it. You just have to have a good printer. And I just copy mine, do mine on regular copy paper, and, once the printer tells me to flip it over, I flip the page over and copy it and then trifold it. Same thing, if you want, they have one for customers and one for brand partners. And it's an awesome flyer, or brochure, because then it explains the business on the front. You open it up, and it has the $249 partnership and what you get. It has the $499 and what you get, and then you close it. And when you close it, there's where you can put your information, put your name, phone number, and your link. And boom, you just hand it out to people. You get a 500 sheet of paper from Walmart for the cheaper one. I think is $349. And you get the heavier stock for $575, I think. And depending on how long your ink lasts, you can print out, 100 copies, brochures, and hand them out. And they got all your information. So there's all kind of things you can do, but this is a great, great program. There's not anything on here that you cannot create with this program. It's amazing. And you can play with it. And I tell people, play with it. Play with the colors. Play with what's there. Find images that you like. If you want to create a logo, you do the same thing. Get your background, get your logo. If you just want it on a plain white copy, do that, because I've done the same thing. If you look at my, the ones that I did, let me get back here to the logo. The ones that I've downloaded, these are ones I've created, and I actually put them back here once I created them. And then I will create another meme, or if I just want to do a picture that I don't have anything in, then here's my logos that I've created. And I always keep them in here. Here's one. that I've done. Here's another one, you know, and if I just want to use that, that's my logo. And I put this on a lot of pictures. If I just want to use the picture for advertising, not really necessarily create a meme, then, you know, there's my logo, and you can shrink it as small as you want it, you know, and all your information there. You can just use that as, you know, as big as you need it to be. So, you know, it just depends on what you want. Here's another one that I use. And as you can see, it's got my fine wines page, you know, and then again, you can shrink it. And once you shrink it to the size you want, you just move it to your picture. Let it be indiscreet, that it doesn't take away from your picture, but yet it's there to catch the eye, if you know what I mean. It's hidden, but still in plain sight. And just create different ones, you know, just depending on how you want it to look. You know, you can go and find these shapes, you know, so here's some shapes you can use. Where is it at? Shapes. So you can go here and pull that shape out that you want. Like I did, just pull the shape out, you know, put some color in the background, add your wording in there, you know, and boom, you got your logo, and save it. And so it just depends on how creative you want to be, on how extensive you want your logo to be. But this is a great place. If you just want it to be some words and phrases in your link, then you can have it that way. It's just however creative you want your logo to be and what you want it to represent. But in somewhere in there, you need to at least have your main website for people to come to.
Yes, definitely. Well, great. I appreciate that, Sheila. Thank you for taking the time.
Oh, no problem. So if we don't have anything else, I think we're going to call it a day. And
I just have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry. No, to get our affiliate link, referral affiliate links for Dropbox and WordPress, all we have to do is create accounts on Dropbox and WordPress.
You should already have an account on Dropbox.
Okay, Dropbox I do, WordPress I don't.
Just go to WordPress and log in. You should have WordPress because you use WordPress.
Right.
If you go to your website and go here, there should be a link for WordPress. Where is it at? Where is it at? Where did it find it? This somewhere in here. But there's a link where it says contact WordPress, and you can go in there. I just have to find it. I will find it and send it to you, or we'll talk about it on the next one. But there is a place where you can come here on WordPress. Since you do have WordPress here, it might be here. If you come here and click WordPress, let's see if this is it. And it takes you to WordPress. No, that just goes back to one of these pages. It might be here, but it goes to WordPress. So let's see where this goes. And at the very bottom, it has its sitemap. And you can, see, here's WordPress. WordPress.org. And where is it? It's one of these. WordPress.com. I think this is where I went to. No, that's not it. It might be because I have several different websites. So just play with WordPress and see if they, because we do have WordPress, so you should be able to go in there and log in with your information. But once you go in here, play with this a little bit to see how you can go in and get that code. But because I have 2 different other websites other than this one, previously I am part of WordPress, so that might be something that I have to look into. But I do know WordPress does have an affiliate program.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So, but I'll check into that and get back with y'all next time.
Thank you.
All right. But same thing with Dropbox. If you have Dropbox, just log into your account and go down to the sitemap at the bottom and but theirs is listed as referral.
Okay, Great, thanks.
Okay. So we covered templates, and like I said, anytime you finish a page, go ahead and create a template for that page. If you have not started your templates, I would suggest you go ahead and start them, especially if you've already done your pages, or you've created new pages. Go ahead and do your template so that when you're getting ready to market, you don't have to sit in front of your computer and try to freelance or freehand an ad. It's already there because you've already put the time to think about it. All you have to do is come up with the pictures you want to use. Okay? All right, and I'm going to put, for those that are new, I'm going to put my Facebook, not my Facebook, my YouTube video link there. I'm going to post it in the chat so that when you get finished, we get finished with this, I always post all of my videos to my YouTube. So you can go there. It's there now. So before we get finished, I want everybody to make sure you copy that out of the chat room. And those that don't have it, you go there and anything you want since January, I think is when we did it, or yeah, 1st of January, last of December. All of my videos are out there for all of the training that we've been doing since then. So you can go through there, and they're usually, I think I have most of them notated what we covered. And they're in random order. There's no particular rhyme or reason to how we teach. It's just whatever questions pop up, we answer it. And just, listen to it, get what you can out of it. Rewind it if you see something else and just couldn't catch it, but it's there for you to look at. As always, you know how to get in touch with me. Just find me on Skype. PM me if you have a question, if you can't get with the instructor, but they should always be your first line of defense. If you can't get with them, then I'm more than happy to help. If you're involved in a chat room, ask your questions in chat. Usually the senior instructors are monitoring that as well, but a lot of the other students have already gone through what you've gone through, and they can answer you and give you tidbits on it too. So, so just go out there, create your pages, get your advertising done, and just make your system your own. That's the big thing. Don't worry so much about what's there. Create it to make you happy, and use the links to make you happy, and represent what you want people to perceive you as a person, because they're never going to get to meet you. Probably a lot of them, those that you're going to be advertising worldwide to, they'll know you by your content, and they'll relate to you by your content and how you write, and they'll buy from you on the trust that they gain from your writing. So put your heart into it. Don't be fake. Don't just try to be a salesman. Really think about what you're marketing and how you would perceive it, how you would use it. If it's something you've used personally, use your personal experiences on it. If it's something you haven't, but you've heard about it, or you think it's good based on what you've researched or read about, make sure you let them know that. Always include yourself in your writing. Don't try to be so cold and distant that you're thinking just as a business. Think of this as a person. If you're reading this, is it going to be interesting to you? If you can't read your own writing, then you got a problem. Then change it. So what you're writing should be of interest to you. If it's not, then you need to change it. Be yourself, or rediscover who you are through your writing, and let people know who you are through it. So that's what I do. And I don't sugarcoat anything, and if I don't think it's, exactly what I want, then I won't publish it. I will play with it until I get it the way I want it. Okay. So y'all have a good one. And for some reason, I got a thunderstorm just come up, and we got rain.
Wow.
So I didn't even know where it comes. See, that's how involved I get with you guys. I don't even know what's going around on. So, but y'all have a good weekend, the remainder of the weekend, and just
thank you.
No problem. And get involved in your website. Trust me, it will pay off. And, it's going to take some time. I'm not going to lie to you. Google takes time to pick up on it. But if they see you consistently doing it, and your advertising is getting traffic to your system, Google will pick you up. I promise you. And everything will start steamrolling. I've been doing this for almost 2 years now, and this is all I do. And I write every day. I put something in my system every day. So you want to make it a part of your everyday life is your website, you know, because there's things that you do every day that potentially somebody else needs. So just think of it that way. I'll think of this as my ministry, you know, for whatever reason. Somebody needs what I have to say. I've been on this world too long, seen too much that somebody could benefit from, you know, and if that's the case, I got the perfect vehicle to do it. I've told Miss Constance that several times. And she's finally getting it. Mr. Bruce too. So
everybody leaves, just a second.
Yes.
That I'm telling you, the slug, the meta, the readability, I'm just still trying, and I do anyway. When it says it has Yoast, it has like little comments that you can click on, and you go to Yoast. It says join. It doesn't really have definitions. Oh, it's just like get premium, get Yoast, and
no,
you'll learn.
You don't need to do any of that. That does not help what you're doing. Anything that requires you to spend extra money, don't do it.
All right, but it's still, you know, I'm trying.
Yeah, you don't. Just ask me. I'll tell you what. Remind me our next class next week, and I will go over everything in Yoast.
But Jill, I do understand it, but I don't understand how it relates to the page I've just written. I go like, I understand this, but then I go to my page and I go.
Well, that's from Google. We get that from Google when we set up the system. Google gave us that, and it's based on your individual page that you wrote at that time. That Yoast is just for that page, and that's what Google needs to get you better indexed. If it says you don't have enough of what is those two?
Oh,
it gives everybody
executive sentences and
transition words,
transitions, and the other word
passive
and transition words.
Right.
And all it is it's just helping you to become a better writer, to get your words and page to flow better. So it's not just
the eye that you click on. I thought it would take us right to the part in the page that they're complaining about.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. If you click on that eye, I know on the transition words and the other one, it will highlight all the words that you have already in there.
Yes.
Yeah, and it will tell you. That's just so you can see what it's talking about.
So, all right, I didn't go back to my page. In other words, if I had, I would have seen it highlighted.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
If you scroll up to your page, you will see it highlighted. The only thing that it will not highlight is if it tells you that you have too many words in a paragraph. It will not show you what that is.
Okay.
You actually have to physically eyeball it and say, oh, this looks like it might be more than 300 words. But if it says transition words, or the other one, I can't even think of it. But if you click on that eye and scroll back up into your page, it will show you every highlighted passage that it has that particular thing in. Just so you know what you're looking at. If you don't have enough, then you can change it. Usually if you don't have enough, that means you need to take 2 sentences and combine it. Make it a compound sentence. If you have too much of the other one, that means you need to make 2 sentences out of 1 sentence. If you have where it says consecutive words, it doesn't like you to use, you just start with they have, they, you know, they, you know, or when, you know, they don't want you to have the same consecutive sentence or sentences started with the same words 3 times in a row. You can have it 2 times, but not 3. Then it will give a red flag. If you have too many of those, you'll get a red dot, and it can change from a green to a yellow, or green to an orange, or an orange to a red. And so you want to make sure, and if you click on that, it will show you where they are. And that just means you need to reword your sentence, you know, maybe put it as a question instead of a statement, or change your thought process, or combine the sentence into a compound sentence, however you need to do it. But yeah, clicking on that eye, scroll up to your page, and it will have it indicated. I think it's in like a lilac color.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one more quick before you,
Uh-huh.
I am doing my post and I'm looking at the video and everything. And in my post dashboard, it's great. I go to preview and guess what? You can barely see, like it's not blue. Like yours is so bright blue. Mine is like a purple that almost looks black.
Oh.
You know, I'm like, why aren't you blue? You're blue in dashboard, but then you're not blue in preview in the. Oh.
It's just because it's a preview. However, it should, when you go to actually publish it, look on your publish. Just go and pull up a random page with your site on it and just look at it. It shows up how it's printed. Preview is not necessarily a true indication of what it looks like.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And also
the other thing,
the other thing is your screen size also dictates it. So if you have your screen minimized, it's going to show one way, but when they actually maximize your screen or whoever's looking at it and it's maximized, it will show differently. So whenever you're looking at your website, always make sure your screen is at the maximum size so that you can see how it's going to look. The other thing I tell people, go to your iPhones or your iPads and pull up your website so you can see what it looks like from different devices. That will also help you determine how you want to arrange things on your page. So always look at it from all angles so you can see what it looks like. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, the only thing I was going to say is the other readability thing that I don't like is that, I'm probably saying it wrong too, the flush report.
Flush, yeah.
Yeah, that's a pain.
Yeah, usually if you have everything green except for the passive and the other one, you're going to get a high score. And the higher your score, the better it reads. All that means is that you're holding people's attention. And if you have a lot of writing without pictures or without headers, you're going to get a low score. So you always want to make sure that you have media, pictures, video in your website because it breaks up all the reading. And that's what that flush score means, is that you have breaks for people to have visual as well as mental readability. So they're reading, that's why I say after every couple of paragraphs, I always have a picture. If anybody looks at my website, they cannot tell me that it's not eye friendly, because I want people to see they're reading 2 paragraphs, especially if they're on a small device and all they see are words. They're going to be like, I've read enough. I can't read all anymore. But if they see the top of a picture, then that's going to pique their interest and be like, what is that next picture of? And they'll skim over that reading and see what that next picture is and then read about what that next picture is. So that's the one thing about the flush score, is that it wants you to make sure that your page is cohesive, that it's interesting, and that there's breaks in there for people that are not, their attention gets drifted pretty quickly. So that's why you want to have all these different layers in your page. Not just, I have one student, he had nothing but just content. There was no picture the first. And I was like, oh, you can't have that. We got to put some pictures in there. So always look at that flush score. If you get...
Sheila, flesh?
Yes, flush score.
Okay.
It's where your readability is at the bottom.
Yeah.
Constant. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's another one that actually has a number. There's only those 3 that actually have a % that you have to be required. The higher your flush score is, the better chance you have of indexing really high on Google. Okay.
Means a movie, Come Back Little Sheep, with Burt Lancaster and Shelley Winters.
I heard Burt Lancaster and Shelley Winters. I lost it.
Come Back Little Sheba, because we're going to come back.
All right, peoples, I'm going to call it a day. I got a free house. My husband is in Virginia playing ball. Yeah. And my grandson actually is with his mom. He cried the whole time, but it'll be okay. So I'm an empty nester today.
That can be a good thing.
It is, because I have like 3-4 ideas I want to get on paper, but my kitchen's a mess, so I'm debating on which one I want to do.
Your business.
That's the
Your
kitchen.
business first. The kitchen will be there while the thoughts are fresh in your mind.
So that's what I'm leaning towards too, because he ain't gonna be home till like 7 or 8 o'clock tomorrow night. So that
Yep. It'll be there.
So I figured, by the time I get home from church, I might stop and get me something at Cookout. Then I can come home, take me a little nap, then clean the kitchen.
Yep.
Sounds good to me.
That works.
All right, gentlemen and
Thank
ladies.
you so much.
Y'all have a good one, and we'll see you next week.
Sounds good. Thank
All
you.
right, regular time next week, unless Rory says so.
Okay.
All right, I got 2 chats. All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye, dears.